All right, so we're going to do a little exercise. So if you don't mind, if you are an entrepreneur, please stand up. All right, good. At least you know yourself. So I'm going to say though. Okay, now this isn't a critical question. I'd like you to think about this honestly for yourself. Your experience as an entrepreneur, how much is it like you had thought about it when you first started? So to what degree is reality matching the dream that you had before? So if it's matching, please sit down. All right, so that's good. Thank you. Give yourselves a hand. That's awesome. So if you're like me, you got it all wrong, especially at the beginning. You know, we get into this process, this journey. It's not an event. It's not a trip. It's a journey for a lifetime. And then we get into it with all kinds of misconceived notions. So what I want to talk with you about today is, I'm like you. Okay. All right. So I've been looking at what are the factors that contribute most to our success as entrepreneurs. And as I go through my evolution, so I want to share some of the things that I find important to me. And hopefully, through that process, you get things that will be valuable for you and your clients. So as you look at this, you think, what is like a flame, a gift, a heart, a home? What do these things have to do with success? In my experience, they have everything to do with success as an entrepreneur. So I'll actually show you. So let's start from the beginning. You know, we all get into it for different reasons. And, the ones we see up here are the ones most common. For me, when I left IBM 3 years ago, the driving factor is that I didn't want anyone to control the rest of my career. I just wanted to be owning that for myself. So whatever the reason is, we all get into it. And the problem we all make, or a lot of us anyway, is that we take our old selves, our old perceptions, our old mindset, and we bring them into our precious new business. I really think the main thing that has to happen, there needs to be a shift in perspective. There needs to be a new you. That's the first thing that you work on, is that new you. And we couldn't possibly know what that is until we get in there and work at it and fall on our faces a few times. Has anyone fallen on their face or doing the journey? I'm the only one? All right, so I strongly believe that success doesn't happen by accident. It happens on purpose, and you make it happen every day. And to do that, one of the main things, and there's the flame, you really got to focus on defining the essence of you and the essence of this business that you're going to drive forward. So, and a lot of people call this, it's define your why, and there are people in this room who are much better about the why than I am. I encourage you to talk with them. But I've been through this process, and it was really helpful for me to get clear on what am I about? What is my higher level purpose? What do I contribute to the world? And what do I want this business to be thought of? So, and once I think I'm getting to be better at it. And for me, it's in the context of being IC, it's to help local businesses grow. And I believe strongly in data-driven decisions to help them architect their growth. And I've been inspired by Cormac on the data-driven decisions. So start with the why. That will really set the stage for the rest of your success. So once you have your why well-defined, keep working at it, hone it, get clear, talk about it, get comfortable, get confident with that. So the next thing is that you really provide valuable service. And this is I have a very important distinction in my business about this. When I first started, I was like the major planner. I had this plan. I wanted to have a certain amount of money by a certain time, and then a year later, I was going to double that. I called it get back to base. So a year later came in, and I just looked at myself and said, I can't make it $200 a month after all the expenses and royalties. So I was kind of disenchanted for a few months, but then I thought about it. And I thought all these goals that I had and all these wonderful plans, they were all about me. And that's really not what's going to make me successful as an entrepreneur and a business owner. I think we have to commit ourselves to a life of service. And that life of service is for our constituents, which includes our clients, our communities, all these events that we go to, and the people that we work with. And I think once you commit yourself to that kind of priority, the rest of it, we all are smart and we can make it happen. But this is a really important thing to focus yourself as committing yourself to a life of service. Profits are important and revenues are important, but it's this higher level thing I think is going to make us distinct and better in the world as business owners. So the thing is to really appreciate and understand the value of the service that you provide, and to carry that confidence in everything you do. You almost exude that level of confidence so that people really want to work with you. So if you're in doubt the services that you provide in the smallest way possible, clients and people in your community see right through that. So really, it takes a while. It's an evolutionary process to get clear on the value your services provide and for whom the value is, and then get that imprinted in your head so that you could really exude that level of value that people are needing. The next concept, we all have this challenge, right? Getting and keeping clients. Does anyone in this room not believe this is an issue? Not an issue, but a challenge. But I think this is more of a challenge if you didn't get the first two I talked about. Your true why, the purpose you stand for, and the value that you add. And to be able to articulate that so that it resonates with your audience. So you understand your audience, you have them imprinted in your head. But one of the main shifts that happened for me is that it's not really about pushing hard, and I can push. So what I found that I get disillusioned because they don't respond to these awesome solutions I'm coming up with. So the key shift for me, and I'm sure that you all experience some of this, is that to really focus more on creating genuine relationships and connections where you kind of listen deeply and there's the ear. So you listen deeply to the people and their concerns, not in their company, but for them personally. So you can be a vessel to help them with their problems. And I think when you do that, and the more you do it, then the more that they will come to you. So this is a major challenge, but it doesn't have to be a problem if you really focus from that perspective, in my experience. The next lesson, and this is like, we all have it, I called it controlling the roller coaster. Being an entrepreneur is a roller coaster ride. So there are times when we get knocked down, or I think at the beginning we knock ourselves down. And when we do that, we get into those autopilot type of behavior. And a lot of our behavior is controlled by our limbic system when we are in a state of protection. So we get into this, I call it the vortex to the abyss, where we get disillusioned, confused, we get tired, we get lonely, and then we also, the worst thing happens is that we start laying back and not doing what we need to do. So I believe we need to develop coping skills, and we all know this. I mean, I could teach classes about this in my life, but doing it is a different matter. So we need to come up with a set of skills that propel us out of the abyss that we get into and get us off track. So those are some things that have been helpful to me, and I want to share them with you. This one first guide is the 5 seconds rule. The 5 seconds rule is not the one like to pick up food on the ground, although that's good. It's about getting yourself, so you get yourself away from emotional roller coaster and the behavior that are not helping you move forward, and reposition your thinking and your behavior towards making micro decisions in any situation that you're in so you could get back on purpose, get back to your mission, stay focused on what matters to the business and your clients, and find things in your environment that really help you be intentional about going forward with about your business. So one of the things that, I just want to cover a few of these for you. So visualize success is very critical. The more concrete your visualizations are about what you want to see happen, the more effective. Your brain, in fact, starts automatically helping you once you visualize what the success is going to be. Get yourself surrounded by besties and buddies who give you good advice and follow it, because so they challenge you. So this following advice is really important. And help them help you to be successful, and make sure you follow what they help you discover. And the other thing, sorry, move just forward. So the last one, I want to make sure I talk about it. You get very clear in every situation what you want to produce as outcome. I don't know about you, but every time I'm not effective, and when I evaluate what was happening, I wasn't really clear on what I'm supposed to, what I want to do, or what I want the situation to result in. So get very clear, don't waver, stay focused on the mission. And the other thing is that, like, keep going. You know, it's like this concept of resiliency, and through these little skills, it helps you come back on track. And the people who are successful, that is one of the critical skills, resiliency. So I'm trying to work on that. So this next concept, I love this one. So when we first start, we think ourselves as little ICs, you know, that little IC in the corner, we're doing our work, almost like an independent contractor. You could do that and still be okay, but I believe, for my business anyway, projecting this image of a higher level caliber agency is more productive and helpful for me to move forward, and I hope that you think the same way. So you got to project this for yourself and your clients, and the more you do it, the more they want to work with you, because you can solve a problem with a team that's kind of special in what they do. So things I found helpful: partner with other ICs. I mean, this is by far the best value proposition WSI has for us. Great potential. The other thing is that kill donkeys and dead weight. Don't keep around customers and prospects that take your time. Don't keep around production centers that don't have the same value that you have to move forward. And don't waste your time with activities that are not getting you what you need to do. So kill those and stay focused on what matters for the business that you are on purpose for. And so although you're directing this, you know, high-level, high-caliber digital agency and this team, you're never not accountable. So you are accountable for all of it. You're accountable to elevate the standards, starting with elevating the standards for yourself. And I feel like that's really critical in that process. And the last one in the set of activities is find and go home. It's not home where you live. It's that home where sometimes you have ups and downs. You have some great successes and excitements. Other times you had great failures, you're uncomfortable, hopefully more successes. But all of those are not natural states. We want to get to a state where we are focusing on our vocation, the thing that in life that we love more than ourselves. We love it more than we fear failing at it, because we will fail sometimes, but we love it so much, we want to get back to doing it. So this vocation, the state of harmony with what you meant to do, is something you want to always go back to, and always have a dog. So what I'd like to leave you with here is that if you can think about where's your home, hopefully that this will be something introspective for you. Then, as I said, success is not by accident. You make it happen. You keep on, and you do it on purpose. And now I'd like to leave you with these final thoughts that hopefully wrap it all together. Thank you.